up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my very first Q&A. So these are the questions that I received from Instagram. So before YouTube gave me the community tab, I didn't really have a way of asking you guys to ask me questions. And so I asked on my Instagram, and so I got a ton of questions, and so I decided that I'm going to be answering the questions from Instagram, and then if you guys want, I can answer your questions from YouTube in a part 2. So this is really fun. I'm super excited. Make sure you follow me on Instagram so that you can participate in things like that. It's way easier for me to chat over on Instagram, and it's also a lot easier for me to share kind of day-to-day updates. And when you're watching this, we'll be in Hawaii. So if you want to see me in Hawaii, you should follow me on Instagram. But anyways, okay, so I'm going to jump right into the questions. We got a ton to answer, and so let's get started. Also, if you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Haley. I am a first-year kindergarten teacher. I'm about to enter into my first year of kindergarten teaching, and so a lot of my content is about classroom stuff. So if you like that, you should subscribe and make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so I'm not going to put these in any particular order. I'm just going to see what you guys asked. So the first question is, what are you most looking forward to about your first year of teaching? So I think honestly, I'm just really looking forward to just having my own classroom and being in charge of my classroom. I can decide where to put things, what supplies I want to put where, how I want to decorate, and it'll just have everything that, placed how I want. I'm also really excited to kind of just have my own space and be in charge, I absolutely loved my student teaching placement. It was amazing. I could not say enough good things about where I was placed in my CT, but it's still not your classroom, and so it was I had to do things the way that my CT wanted, which most of the time that was fine, but sometimes I would have done something slightly different, and so it'll just be really nice to just have my own classroom and just be in charge of my space and the way that I do things. So I'm really excited for that. Also, I'm super excited to be teaching kindergarten, so that's another really good thing that I'm excited about. The next question says, for kindergarten, what type of activities will you have for playtime, house dolls, etc.? So this is a really good question. I know for sure that we'll have a kitchen, we have a puppet studio, we have fake food for the kitchen, we have blocks and cars, and we have baby dolls, and we have, I'm wanting to purchase some dinosaur toys and some animal toys and stuff like that for the kiddos to use, and then I'm also picking up different things that they can use, beading. I really want them to be able to do that. I want to get one of those light brights that they can use the light and then put the little pins in that are different colors and make designs and words and stuff, and so there'll probably be a variety of toys for the kids to use during playtime, and I'm not exactly sure of all that the school provides, but those are just things that I know of right now. So the next question says, how was the job search and the interview process? So honestly, the job search for me wasn't too difficult, and I'm very blessed and lucky to be able to say that, because I know a lot of people, even in my program, haven't gotten jobs yet or are just starting to. So the job search for me was pretty easygoing. I went to a lot of job fairs, and so I would definitely recommend doing that. You can make a lot of connections to a lot of different districts all at once, and so the district that I am teaching with now, I made a lot of connections with the hiring people at the job fairs, and was able, they knew my face, they knew me, they knew what my resume looked like, and so I'm sure that probably helped my chances of getting the job that I did. In the interview process, I had done, I don't know, I only did one formal interview in front of a panel, and it was over Zoom, which is kind of like Skype, and so it was just a video interview. And I actually lost my voice during the interview. I had just gotten a double ear infection and I was super sick, and halfway through the interview I just lost my voice. So that was not fun, but I ended up getting the job, so that was good. So I would say that my job process and interview process was pretty easy, and I'm really lucky to say that. The next question is, what type of demographic will you be teaching in? So the demographic that I'll be teaching in, there's a lot of ELL students, a very high percentage of my students are probably going to be ELL. the highest language being Spanish, but then really closely followed along by like Russian and Vietnamese. And there's a few different languages that are very present in the area that I'm going to be teaching, which is really exciting, and so I'm super excited. If you guys don't know, I am ELL endorsed, so it's really exciting to me that I will have a lot of students that are going to be learning the language. The next question is, how did you get your teaching job so quickly? So I kind of touched on this before. I went to a lot of job fairs. I took any interview that I could get, even for district that I wasn't really interested in. It was just kind of like a practice for me to, you know, find out what kind of questions they might be asking and just practice answering questions. So I would definitely recommend taking any interview you get. And then also the way that I actually got my job so quickly, as I said, I'm ELL endorsed, and so they actually offered me an interview for an ELL specialist, and I didn't really have that desire to be a specialist at this point in my life right now. And so I was kind of debating on doing the interview. I didn't really want to, like, you know, waste my time, but I talked to the HR person at the district, and they said, if you want to work in our district or you want to work in that school, you should definitely still do the interview. And so I did, and then I kind of just explained to them, like, you know, why I would prefer being an elementary teacher, and then they offered me the job as an elementary teacher once they figured out what positions they would have open. And so, okay, the next question says, are you going to be making an Amazon wish list? Yes, so it's actually linked in the description box right here. If you click it, you can find it, and I absolutely am so grateful if you guys decide to support my classroom in any way. It's definitely not expected, but very appreciated. I actually just received my very first order off of it, and it's so amazing, and I was literally about to cry because I was so happy and just grateful and in shock that someone decided to support me and my kiddos in my classroom, and it's just incredible. I'm so thankful. And so definitely not expected, but if you want inspiration for your kindergarten classroom, you can check it out down there. I will definitely be sharing anything that I receive in hauls. I'm going to be sharing what I did receive from the really nice subscriber who already donated to my classroom later this week in a haul. So yes, I do have an Amazon wish list. The next question is, what is the first thing you will do when you are entering your classroom? So when I can go into my classroom and like start moving things around, I will probably first like take inventory of like what I have in my classroom and then start like organizing it, and then kind of playing around with where I want things to go. And so my room does have a lot of storage if you guys have watched my classroom tour. And so I'll just have to figure out where I want to store different things like manipulatives, play to learn stuff, my books, stuff like that. So my first day I will probably be doing a lot of organizing and figuring out what I actually have and where I want it to go. Okay, so the next question is, what are your tips for time management? What are my tips? I would say just what I do is I kind of like organize it in my mind on like what is most important. So depending where you are in life, like if you're a student, like school should probably be up there really high. Some people really prioritize spending time with their relationships in their life. Some people really like to have like introvert alone time. I would just say first like go through like the categories of what you have to spend your time on and figuring out what you think is most important at the time, and then just kind of allocating your time in that order. I also would recommend using a planner, and I make to-do lists all the time, like all the time. Every single day I have a to-do list pretty much, and so I would definitely recommend doing a to-do list. And also on your to-do list, like include things that like may seem silly, like do your laundry or eat lunch, stuff like that. That really helps me, and it also just gives you like, it gives you that like validation that those things are important too. It's important to take care of yourself even if it's not seen as productive or necessary. So the next question said, how did you and your fiance meet, and what's your dream wedding? So my fiance and I met almost 3 years ago at college. We were both a part of a club, and we met the very first day of the club. It's a really huge club. It had probably like 200 people, and I was with like my group and he was with his group, and we were sitting behind each other, and we had like an introduction time, and you were supposed to like turn around and like say hi to people and stuff. And so he like turned around and said hello to like someone that was like three 3 seats down from me. And then like right as the time was like ending, he like turned to me and said like, "Hi, I'm Warren, like nice to meet you." And I was like, oh my gosh. And so that's how we met. And then my dream wedding, it's probably what we're doing. I have never been a type of person that really likes a lot of attention on me. I don't really like that. I know that a lot of people have these really grand, beautiful, amazing weddings, and that's just not me. And so we are going to Hawaii to get married, and so we're gonna get married on a beach, and it's gonna be really private, and it's gonna be really awesome, and we're gonna have photos, and it'll just be beautiful and awesome. And so I'm super excited. And so that's probably my dream wedding, just because like me personally, I think marriage, you know, is obviously between you and your spouse, and I don't really need anyone else there to validate that. And so as long as it's me and him, that's all I care about. And so we're getting married on a beach, so that's probably my dream wedding. So the next question says, can you talk about your whole school teaching journey in college, like field experience? So I went to college at Western Washington University, and throughout, I was in my program for 3 years. So I had 1 year of just like general requirements, and then I had 3 years of actually being in my major for elementary. And so during those 3 years, basically the entire time that I was in there, every quarter I would have some sort of field experience or practicum. So probably before student teaching, which was my final year, I had close to like 150 hours in various classrooms. And then during my student teaching, my spring quarter I had 450 hours, and then the 2 quarters before that I probably had around that same, and so I had a lot of hours in the classroom. And throughout those practicums I would teach like math or science or art. I even taught like literacy. I didn't teach PE, but I did a lot of subjects, and so it gave me a really well-rounded experience in teaching, so I'm really grateful. The next question says, what are you most excited for about teaching kindergarten? I am so excited, you guys. Like, I can't even tell you how excited I am to teach kindergarten. I'm just so excited that they're so little and they're so cute, and they're, you know, most of the time they're really excited to be there. They're really excited to learn. I'm just super excited, and I just love how fun it is. And I feel like with kindergarten you still have a lot of like freedom to teach like art and integrate science, and just like, you know, introduce them to all the book characters, and just like, you know, it's just so fun. And you can do so many hands-on kind of things. You can do this in all grades, but I feel like especially kindergarten you can. So I'm super excited for that. Okay, the next question says, how many students will you have in your class? So I don't know for sure. Obviously I haven't gotten my class list, but I will probably have between like 19 and 23. I think 23 is like very high for the school, but it could happen obviously, but probably in that range. The next question says, do you have an assistant? I noticed not all states have assistants in kindergarten. So I won't have an assistant, like I won't have like an assistant teacher, but I will have a para and a like instructional support person that come in for an hour a day. So I'm not sure if that is what an assistant means, but I will have people that come into my classroom and help. Okay, so the next question says, do you feel like student teaching prepared you to jump into your own classroom and go? I would say yeah. Definitely by the end of student teaching I was like, okay, I am ready to be a teacher. Like mentally and emotionally I was like, yes, I am ready. But curriculum wise it's really tricky, because most of the time like people don't stay in the same district or school that they student taught in. It happens, but just not as likely probably. So I have to relearn, you know, new curriculums now for all subjects, and I am in a different grade level, which is tricky, but it's a similar, like I was in first grade for student teaching and now I'm in kindergarten, so not that huge of a jump. But I would say yeah, I think it prepared me. It really taught me a lot of like about the behind the scenes part of teaching, like how to get kids to go onto the bus, how to organize your classroom, how to work a laminator, stuff like that. So I definitely feel pretty prepared to enter my first year, but there's always room for growth. Okay, the next question says, are you going with any particular theme for your classroom? So I am kind of going with a like rainbow kind of theme, so having a lot of white space, so making sure the walls are crisp and clean and it just seems really open and airy. I'm gonna have plants in my room, and so just make it really like fun, but also have a lot of color. So like there's gonna be like color for posters or colorful letters for the word wall and colorful cubbies for the bins and stuff like that. So like crisp but colorful. So like rainbow themed, I guess? I don't know. So the next question says, what college did you go to? And I went to Western Washington University in Washington State. Okay, the next question says, what are your top 5 favorite songs? This is tricky. So I have like songs that I've loved like my entire life, and they will always be like my favorite songs, but I also have songs of the moment, you know? So my favorite song like has been since I was like 10 is Some Hearts by Carrie Underwood. It will always just be one of my favorite songs. Carrie Underwood's an amazing artist if you haven't listened to her. Let me check. So another one of my favorite songs that has been for a really, really long time is Drunk Me by Mitchell Tenpenny. That is a country song, so if you don't like country, I kind of like country. I like country sometimes. Some other of my favorite song, I really like Body by Loud Luxury. These are kind of older songs. A more newer song that I really like is, I really like It's Gotta Be You by Isaiah, and I also really like Thief by Angel Elgort, and I also really like pretty much all Taylor Swift songs. So those are kind of like my favorite songs over time. The next question says, do you have a preferred grade you would like to teach? Going into the whole job search and when I was like first entering like my teaching program, I really thought that I wanted to teach 2nd grade. And then once I was student teaching, I was like, I really want to teach 1st grade. And then during the job process, there was a lot of kindergarten positions. And so I was like, I kind of want to teach kindergarten. And then once I like spent some time with the kindergartners at my student teaching school and just kind of saw like how kindergarten works, I was like, I really want to teach kindergarten. So it's kind of changed over time, but I've always wanted to be in the primary grades. The next question says, what are your favorite books for teaching and for pleasure? I just recently started reading again now that I actually have free time now that I'm not in college. I just read What Alice Forgot. I cannot recommend it enough. It's so good. I absolutely love it. I also really like The Girl on the Train. That one's a little bit more of like a thriller, so take that as you will. And then for teaching, I really like the reading strategies and writing strategies books. I think they're awesome resources, and I am hoping to hopefully get those books pretty soon. I've used them in my college classes, but I don't actually own them right now, and so hopefully I will get those soon. Next question says, how old are you? I am 22. I turned 23 in September, which is crazy. Next question says, when did you decide to be a teacher? I have wanted to be a teacher since I was about in kindergarten or 1st grade. I can't exactly remember, but I was like 5 or 6. And before that, I wanted to be a daycare lady because I knew daycare ladies worked with kids, and that's what I wanted to do. So once I realized, oh, teaching is a thing, I wanted to be a teacher. So I've wanted to be a teacher my entire life. I've always wanted to work with kids my entire life, so it's been a while. Next question says, how did you get started on YouTube? So I have always watched videos on YouTube, especially vlogs. I used to watch a lot of like family vlogs like OK Baby and Aspen and Parker and all those really big channels, and so I used to watch those all the time, and I thought it always looked really, really fun, and so I just bought a camera one day and decided to film and did a little vlog, and then I fell in love with the editing process. I just loved like more creative kind of filming, like cutting, you know, cutting clips to fit music and finding really cool music. I really, really liked that, and so I would kind of do videos like that sometimes, and then I just kept going. And so I kind of started just by being inspired by other YouTubers and wanting to kind of do the same thing, and then I also just really like, you know, creating memories, and I absolutely love creating this community. It's amazing. It honestly blows my mind how many teachers I talk to on the daily now from all over the world, and it's incredible, and I just like couldn't have ever dreamed of this, and so it's really fun. Next question says, how has wedding planning been going? Holy cow, you guys, it is so stressful. We thought by like just going to Hawaii by ourselves, it would not be stressful. Yeah, joke's on us. I don't want to really get into it so much because like, I don't know, I try to be a really positive person, but we had hired a photographer to photograph our wedding and then take some photos of us afterwards as well. And he just like didn't even know our names. Like he sent me an email with completely wrong information, and this happened today and we're leaving on tomorrow, so like 4 days before our wedding. He didn't even know who we are. He didn't know where we were going. He just didn't really seem like that professional, and so we ended up canceling and getting our money back, and which is really lucky. We were kind of just assuming we wouldn't get it back, but we ended up getting our money back, and then we found this other really sweet girl who's going to be taking our photos, and so we're really lucky. Everything worked out fine. It was just really stressful when we're leaving for Hawaii tomorrow to have a lot of things fall through and just cost a lot of money, and it was a little bit scary. But I think everything is taken care of now, and so we should be all in the clear, and so now things are good. The next question says, what was your concentration? And so I think by that they mean major, and so my official major at my university was language, literacy, and culture studies, and then I got endorsed in reading and ELL, and elementary education. So I'm certified K through 8 in Washington. And the next question she asked was, when is your first day of school? And my first day of school is, well, the first day of school for the district is September 4th, but those first 3 days we're required to meet with every family that is going to be in our classroom and do conferences with them. So September 4th through 6th, I'll be doing conferences, and then school starts September 9th for kindergarten. Okay, so then the very last question in this Q&A is, does every classroom in your building have that furniture? It's way nicer than what we have. Yes, my building, every classroom has the same furniture, just different colors, and so I think my chairs are green and other people's might be different colors, but we all get given the exact same furniture, we get given the exact same resources, and each classroom has their own set. And so yes, my building is very, very nice. They're very, very kind to their teachers and try their best to support, and that is one way they do that. And so I'm really, really lucky to be at the school in the district that I'm at, and so I definitely know that my school is very nice and they take care of us really well. Okay guys, that is all the questions that I'm going to answer today. This video is already so long. This is incredible. I love chatting with you guys, and so I will definitely be making a part 2 to answer any questions that you guys comment on my YouTube channel. And so I posted in the community tab on YouTube. If you click it, you can find the post, and then you can comment any questions down there that you want to know and that you want me to answer. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. I love to get to know you guys, and I'm really excited to continue documenting my journey to become a teacher. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!